Today, I am going to introduce my CPS archive project inside my creative brain. This project is not only a website, it is also an archive object. I designed it in the form of a brain because I wanted the audience to enter my creative process, almost like entering my memories, my ideas, and different areas of my thinking. This website connects 8 CPS projects. Each clickable area of the brain corresponds to one project. When the audience moves the mouse over a brain region, that area lights up. After clicking it, a short image or video preview appears, and then the audience can enter the project page. As the audience explores different areas, the brain gradually becomes more complete. So this website is not just a menu, it is more like a visual map of my whole semester. For the earlier works from week 1 to week 5, I will explain them briefly. In week 1, the theme was observation. I created a poster about female identity across 3 generations. I used layered female faces and combined them with Buddhist visual elements to explore birth, protection, compassion, and generational continuity. In week 2, the focus was tinkering and experimentation, so I created a 2D hand-drawn animation. It began with a running loop and gradually transformed into liquid movement, fire-like forms, and a rocket-like motion sequence. What was important about this work was that I did not start from a fixed story. I allowed the animation to grow freely, like a tree, following the movement trajectory and my own perception of motion. In week 3, the theme was objects and observation. I used the randomly assigned wooden parrot as my object. I created 2 short animations around it. One animation emphasized its heaviness and stillness, while the other expressed lightness and floating. This allowed me to explore the tension between materiality and a sense of life. In week 4, the theme was place. I created an abstract image that combined Australian indigenous visual language with traditional Chinese painting. Through a divided composition, I wanted to express that place is not only a physical space, it can also be cultural, emotional, and connected to memory. In week 5, the theme was object-oriented ontology. I chose a bar of soap as my research object, and created a video work combining hand-drawn animation and live-action footage. I imagined the soap as a human relic seen by a post-human or alien observer. Through this setting, I explored how the meaning of an object may change when the human perspective is removed. After these early explorations, my later projects became more personal and more connected to memory, identity, and visual structure. In week 7, the theme was character and time. I created a drawing of a frilled lizard. What made this work different was that the lizard was made from many slices of human growth. The core inspiration came from the concept of a 4-dimensional insect. In other words, I was thinking about what life would look like if it was not just one moment, but a continuous existence across time. In this work, I placed my childhood self near the neck of the lizard, and used its expanded frill to symbolize unrealized futures and lost possibilities. The frill became like a fan of time, spreading outward from the body. It suggested memory, possible life paths, and different versions of the self. I also included figures from different stages of life, such as childhood, youth, adulthood, and old age. One thing I really like about this project is that it does not interpret time in a common or realistic way. Instead, it uses the body of a character as a metaphor. The lizard becomes a container for time and memory. It expresses that the present self is not isolated. It is shaped by the past, and it is also influenced by futures that never happened. In week 8, the theme was character and environment. This was one of my most personal projects. I reconstructed my grandparents' home through video documentation, memory, AI image generation, and hand-drawn sketches. At first, I tried to use AI to reconstruct a space. The results looked visually similar, but the spatial logic was wrong. The connections between rooms were incorrect, and the furniture placement also felt unreasonable. This made me realize that AI can imitate appearance, but it does not truly understand the internal logic of a human living space. So I returned to my own memory and the original video footage, and began to draw the spatial structure by hand. I paid attention to many details, such as the cushions on the chairs, traces left by long-term use, handmade paper rubbish boxes, storage areas, and the relationships between rooms. During this process, I realized that an environment itself can become a portrait of a person. I did not need to show my grandparents directly. Their habits, personalities, and lives were already present in these objects and spaces. Therefore, This project uses traces within the environment to indirectly represent character. It also gave me a deeper understanding of how character can be constructed more completely in animation. In week 9, the theme was limitation. I created a poster about repeated character archetypes in contemporary games, animation, comics, and films. I started to think about why many characters from different works can feel so similar. For example, Chamber, Jane, and Silco all present the image of an elegant but dangerous gentleman. They are calm, intelligent, stylish, and threatening. At the same time, I also thought about characters like Jinx and Harley Quinn. They share a pattern of chaotic femininity, including exaggerated expression, instability, and playful violence. In this project, I did not only want to criticize repetition, I wanted to understand why repetition happens. Maybe creators are limited by audience expectations, commercial success, existing archetypes, or marketable visual formulas. So, during the poster making process, I set strict limitations for myself. I only used existing male characters. I only selected characters who fit the elegant but dangerous archetype. I limited the color palette to black, white, gold, and dark red. I also made the characters' weapons point directly at the audience. When these three similar characters stand together in the same image and face the viewer with similar poses, it may raise a question. Why do characters from completely different fictional worlds look and feel so similar? Finally, the website itself became the 9th project. I wanted it to integrate all of my works into one interactive archive. At the beginning, I had almost no experience with web development, so I first used an existing brain image to create a simple prototype. The main purpose was to test the basic functions, such as clickable areas, hover effects, and page transitions. After the basic system was completed, I redesigned the brain myself. I explored its overall silhouette, internal line system, color regions, and the visual language of different brain areas. Some regions became more organic, some became more geometric, and some became more decorative. In the final website, this brain is both a navigation system and a symbolic object. It is like a container of thought, carrying my CPS projects. The audience is no longer just reading a PDF or a list of works. Instead, they explore my creative process by clicking through the brain. Overall, this archive project shows how my work developed throughout the semester, from observation and experimentation towards more personal expressions of time, memory, environment, identity, and creative limitation. It also shows how I use digital tools and AI as collaborative partners, while still keeping drawing thinking and decision making firmly in my own hands.